All right, next topic. We have the review for Ailee's comeback, which I feel like she's been gone for forever.
Yeah, it's her first album since 2016.
Yeah, she's been gone for forever. So we have her new album, Butterfly, which is a full album, which thank God it is if she's been gone for 3 years.
Yeah, she definitely owes us a lot of music. So I'll be talking over this one. I have to rep my fellow New Jerseyan in
Yes.
Ailee. So yeah, like I said, mentioned, this is her first. This isn't her first music since 2016. I mean, she had like "I Will Go to You Like the First Snow" Fever in 2017, it's her first like solo release since 2016. But there's some like issues going on. She's unable to promote this album because this was her last contractually obligated release for YMC Entertainment, and she plans to do like a Soyeon, like a one-woman entertainment company, and just like do music like that. Cause yeah, I mean, Ailee is a bigger name than any company that she'd join. Essentially, like she's huge.
Yeah.
She's huge in Korea, but yeah, it just kind of sucks that we've definitely aired our grievances with YMC, and I feel like this just only adds more fuel to that fire. That the fact that they're basically like doing a Jessica, where they're not letting her promote, they're not letting her go on music shows, they're kind of like blacklisting her essentially. So it's kind of a shame. Yeah, it's definitely a shame because she's a great performer live. I saw her live. First time I saw her live was in KCON 2016. The famous or infamous, depending on who you ask, incident where the backing track wasn't playing and she just sang the whole thing. She just sang like the first
awesome.
part of like I forget which song in just a cappella, and she was just destroying the whole performance. So yeah, she definitely, her vocal talent isn't to be questioned at this point, but maybe her choice of single will. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So starting us off, we have Midnight, which is probably by the time we're going to end the show. So Midnight, again, I feel like it's a good reintroduction to just how good of a vocalist Ailee is. Like, you kind of almost forget her having just not been in the spotlight outside of like OSTs for so long. So yeah, it's just this really good complementary relationship between like this like almost EDM synth instrumental with just her incredible high notes during the chorus. So yeah, just a great way to start off the album for me.
Yeah. The song is pretty much exactly how I expected the first track on a new Ailee album to sound like. Like, it's basically picking off right where she left off musically. As always, I think her vocals on this are superb, which I'll try to avoid commenting on in future tracks since I think we can kind of take that for granted.
You could say that for pretty much every song on here.
Yeah. Like her the belting ad libs she does on this are amazing. I thought the way the beat drops hard during the chorus and clears up in the verses in between was really nice, and I think that lent really well for a highly effective hook. Great way to open the album.
What was Nate's thoughts?
Nate, he says, hold on, my computer will stop being retarded. Here, Ailee. Okay, so Nate says, for Midnight, it's been a long time since we've gotten an Ailee release, and this first song is exactly what I expected and wanted. Sticking to her usual style, classic pop music with a focus on her belting and just doing an amazing job with her vocals. I like how muted the second verse is right after the much more energetic chorus. Instrumentals are good. I like the main synth line throughout the song, but nothing stands out too much.
Cooper says, "Woo, why wasn't this the title track? It has that powerful EDM sound in the chorus, but also has much better vocals than Room Shaker." I agree 100%. I like the thumping synths and bass throughout the song, definitely. It's that EDM instrumental, I feel, it works so well with Ailee's vocals. Moving on, we have the next song, which is entitled Want It, and I'd say this was probably the magnum opus of the entire album, at least for me. Just because... I don't know, it's just it has this really cool blend of like a funky guitar riff, horn sections. It's almost like disco-esque in like how like the drum tracks go in.
Yep.
Yeah, Yeah, but it's kind of funny because like Ailee is known for like belting, but she doesn't really do much of that in this song, and I feel it's probably the best vocal performance, just specifically because of how the vocal melody was written on the chorus. It's just incredibly unique and catchy. And I feel like she's so at home in this type of like funk R&B style of music. So yeah, this was such a treat for me to listen to, and I'm just like, yeah, this is when I was still high on the album, and I was like, damn, Ailee's back. I'm really happy.
All right, so I really like the electric guitar being coupled with the synths throughout the song. The chorus is super catchy, just like the previous song. Again, I think it hits super hard, and special shout out as well to the awesome bass line. Okay, so for Nate, he says, awesome sax intro with a really punchy beat. This song has an amazing instrumental with the big band sound. Great brass parts, some nice little piano interludes thrown in. I like how it's all layered on a more traditional punchy pop beat. It's got this nice dichotomy of switching from the chorus from that in the verses to the big band sound in the chorus. Plus, Ailee singing is amazing as always.
Definitely. That's going to be the recurring theme here.
Yep.
Cooper says in all caps, best song. The brightness this has fully fits the summer. The piano and horns are so good. Her voice sounds amazing here. The verse with the electric guitar and drums is amazing. Oh my god. And then he says key change with like 1,000 E's. Yeah, obviously you're going to get a really big modulation with freaking Ailee because she has the vocal range of like I don't know, just Beyonce or something like that, or just somebody in like Whitney Houston or whatever. There's just you're gonna she's definitely gonna show her range off.
I mean, I'd say she's probably the closest thing to being a Korean equivalent to Beyonce.
Definitely.
So she definitely takes a lot of inspiration from her, at least. So
next we have Headlock. Speaking of that, like sort of influence. This is basically just her doing like her best like Beyonce or even like TTS impersonation. Definitely sounds a bit TTS in this type of sound. So it makes sense, again, like I said, with Baekhyun growing up with this kind of music in the early 2000s, especially with Ailee being an American. It's no surprise she draws a lot of inspiration from this music. So again, it's like Wanted and Headlock are kind of lockstep in the similarity of like the horn usage, really interesting percussive parts. Like the chorus has like this like cowbell section going on during it. That sounds so cool. It's basically, it really is just like 2000s R&B music. And there's that cool build up to the chorus where she just like hits insane high notes. So again, just very, if you want to show somebody what Ailee's music is, I think this would be one of them. In all honesty, just it's very quintessentially Ailee.
All right, so the song starts out with a really low bass, sort of like coupled with some claps to kind of serve as like the metronome for the song, so to speak. The song was really, really good overall, but I feel like the build up and the drop into the chorus fell a little short for me as far as impact goes. I think maybe if either the instrumentals filled right up or cleared right out, I think it would have been a little better. I don't think the vocal performance was an issue. For this, I just chalk that down to production. It's a fun chorus. It just doesn't hit hard enough for me. So for Nate, he says, the whole song screams Ailee. It's right up her alley. Clapping beat, funky brass, bass instrumentals, super vocal focus, and not really sure how I feel about the talking parts, but the rest of the song is solid.
Cooper, like, he specifically mentions the talking parts and says the talking parts are in the song. Why? And I don't know how I feel about the super heavy bass with the clapping mixed with horns. Parts of it I like, but others are just not my taste. Moving on, we have the lead single off of this full album entitled Room Shaker.
Oof.
That's really the only way to explain this song, but I will try to explain the oof in details. To put it plain and simple and bluntly, I'm sorry, Ailee, you know, you're my Jersey girl, but I gotta say this, and maybe it's not entirely her fault, but this is probably one of the saddest and most blatest attempts I've heard to rip off Blackpink in all my years of like trying to review K-pop music. Like seriously, that whistling part at the beginning to like the delivery of the verse is just like literally like copy pasted from doo. Like it's so shameless in how they do it, and it just makes me so disappointed considering how much I love Ailee as a performer. And just compared to the rest of the album, it just came out of friggin' nowhere. It just tonally, it doesn't fit with the album at all. Just because you have a lot of these like R&B focused, sometimes EDM focused, and you got this like kind of like girl crush concept thing that comes out of nowhere. Yeah, just I feel it like she was trying to go for something with the whole album, and then it just kind of went off the rails around here. And I feel like there's like so many other songs on this entire album that would have made for way better singles than this would.
Yeah.
So that's just the music. I mean, getting to like the friggin' music video, it's like, I mean, it's not bad. It just doesn't do anything interesting. Like the choreography is okay. I mean, granted, like that's not necessarily a strength of hers all the time, but I mean, I do expect something at least interesting.
Yeah.
But the setting of the music video is just kind of like uninspired. It's just like some random parking garage, and they like dress up some like empty building with like seats and like I don't know. Like the background definitely wasn't the focus. It's mostly on like the outfits and everything. There's some nice like pink outfits or whatever. Also, yeah. I think she might get sued by Michael Buffer for yelling "Let's get ready to rumble," but let's that's probably the least of her worries. I have this conspiracy theory with the song that I mentioned this in Discord that maybe she's pulling a Marvin Gaye. So what I mean by that is when Marvin Gaye got divorced from his wife, as the legend goes, I don't know if it's confirmed or denied, but she had the royalty. She gained all the royalties from his next album. So
what the hell?
The story
so
goes.
He just bombed it.
Yes, the story goes. He just made it horrible so they wouldn't sell a lot. And I'm thinking maybe Ailee did that. She just gave him the worst single possible so that she wouldn't make YMC any money. And I'm just gonna go with that with my headcanon to explain why this song was even considered being the single. Oh,
yeah.
Go ahead.
So, a word you used in the description of MV, uninspired. I think that's my issue with the song. It's like it's not even that it's bad. It's just uninspired. Like I think it's clear that somebody, whether it's Ailee or YMC or whoever, they see Blackpink doing these kind of songs. That's what's popular right now. Ailee's been gone for a while. We need to get her back in the spotlight.
Yeah, it just
so
feels
we're gonna
like
try and come out with that kind of song.
Yeah, it's the very definition of trying to ride a trend, like blatantly.
Yeah. So, what I was saying was, anyways, to be honest, I kind of found this track to be kind of unnecessary. Like it's not bad of a song, but it just feels like Ailee's trying to get in on the type of crowd that groups like Blackpink attract by using this as a title track. I'll pass on this.
Yeah.
And then my last comment was, although I didn't like the song, I did really like the aesthetic of and outfits they went with for the MV. I thought that was fine at least. So, yeah, basically just unnecessary, uninspired. I think those are the two words I describe it. All right, so Nate.
I'm interested to see what he thought.
All right, Nate, in all caps, what the hell happened?
That's the only way to explain it. What the hell happened?
Yeah, and then he goes on to say, why did Ailee decide to use this as a single or make it at all? We got 3 solid Ailee tracks so far, and then we get this YG reject of a song. Absolutely nothing about this song stands out. She even does the YG vocal style. The chorus is utter garbage. The drop is obnoxious. Her rapping is not good. Everything about this album has been amazing so far. Then this happens. She literally yells, "Let's get ready to rumble." ...
Yeah.
MV matches the song and looks like a low budget YG reject MV too. Dude, Nate went completely in on this song.
Oh I mean, God. He is right though. It really is. Yeah. Like it's dollar store did it.
Well, he used our word. Choreo is uninspired. Overall, the whole thing is a mess.
Cooper's probably the most positive about this, if I can even say that. He says, And by positive, he says, this actually
Least
isn't
negative.
the least favorite song on the album. It's not the worst for him, so that's something. I like the hook. The English in the second verse is actually putrid, but I like the pre-chorus a lot and bridge. Her long note is iconic too. The MV is kind of gross and cheap looking. I do like the floor cleaning choreo though. Still
cleaning.
kind of a mess with the concept. Yeah, I mean, like you gotta clean. Yeah, it's symbolic of just them cleaning up the mess that was this song. So I don't know how to explain it. If you in the comments can explain why they picked this song, please enlighten us. Moving on, we have the next song is entitled "Love," which features Chen from EXO. So Chen features on Ailee's song, but not on Baekhyun's album. Makes perfect sense. I don't know. Anyway,
Chen is featured on this?
yeah.
Okay, it doesn't even say that on Apple Music. It just says love, no feature.
Okay.
I was wondering, I actually said in my comments, who's the featured singer? I was like, the featured singer was not bad. I'm not sure who it was.
Well, yeah. I don't know, because I love both of their voices. Like, Chen has definitely sort of gone up my EXO bias rankings just because his voice is just incredible. But
Definitely.
man, they just went so boring and safe with this. Like, they could have done so well together. I mean, like, the chorus is kind of good, but... And I do think, like, if given a second crack at it, maybe I'd like it better, but... Man, I feel it's way too safe. Way too safe for Ailee. Like, they even tried to sneak in a bit of, like, future bass during some parts of it, but, like, even that couldn't... Like, I'm usually the future bass sucker here, but, like, even that couldn't save the song entirely.
Future bass sucker.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the one that keeps constantly yelling future bass, but even that didn't sort of improve the song or my thoughts on the song all too much.
So I thought this song was pretty good. After the I put this in quotes hypeness that was Room Shaker. We have a more like slow paced and tamed like coffee shop style like R&B ballad sort of thing. I thought Ailee's voice came out super sweet, and to be honest, this sort of thing from her appeals to me way more than Room Shaker.
Anything
So, like,
appeals more to me than Room Shaker.
Yeah. And then I also said the sax, and then I put question mark. I was like, can't tell if it's a sax or not, but that pipes in from the background every now and then was pretty cool as well. And then I said the featured singer is not bad. I'm not sure who it was though. So it turns out it was Chen,
It's
so that
Chen.
makes sense. All right, so from Nate, he says Ailee ballad, piano focus, great vocals. Back to exactly what we want. Love the piano focus with the mix of some guitar in there. Chen's feature was great. His voice is amazing and goes really well with Ailee's. Love the layering of the vocals they did in this song too.
Cooper says, once again, Chen is used for a boring ass ballad. Oh,
Damn.
this could have been a really fun collab. Like, imagine if Wanted was the Chen feature. Their vocals going back and forth with that instrumental. Instead, this is super generic, and their voices just kind of blend together in uninteresting ways. Disappointing all around. I agree.
Damn.
Next, something that's not disappointing at all is called Nothing at All. So, yeah, this was where I feel it kind of started to pick up some of the momentum again. It's definitely got this kind of like, again, drawing from the 2000s American music, pop music type of thing. You got this like almost Alicia Keys type performance from Ailee here, just like with this like really like repetitive piano thing, like the dun 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 dun. I thought it was incredible. Like there's the parts where her vocals are like going off. It's almost like at odds with like the 3/4 of the instrumentals. It's just like da 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 da. Like I thought that was incredible. Again, it just shows that for Ailee to show her vocal talent, she doesn't always have to belt. She just has to do really interesting things with how they do the vocal melody. So, yeah, I enjoyed this a lot. And, I mean, just a cool guitar part at the end always is a bonus. So, yeah, this is where I was kind of back on board.
Okay. So what I thought that was the piano, I thought it was like a ukulele or something. They were just going doot 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 doot.
Just hitting the same note over and over again.
Yeah, I couldn't tell what it was, but I guess maybe it's like an out of tune piano or something like that. So it starts out with the quiet vocals, and then as the song progresses, a more like heavy sounding percussion comes in, which kind of ushers us into the awesome chorus. I think this is probably one of the best vocal performances from Ailee on the whole album.
Definitely.
Like, I think it's definitely one of my favorite songs. All right, so from Nate, he says he really likes the bouncing piano and the 3/4 time signature. Like Yuna's song, it gives a bit of a waltz feel. Also,
1, 2,
like how the
3,
instrument.
1, 2. Yeah, it's just 1, 2, 3, like waltz type feel.
Yeah. Also, like how the instrumentals in this song are almost entirely just for the beat, giving the entire focus to Ailee until it builds near the end, at least. All right, I'm like, he like put periods in weird spots, so if it sounds weird me reading
Damn
this,
it, Nate.
that's why. Then we get some great guitar and other stuff to add to that swell of music. Then it all drops out for the ending.
Cooper says, gives me more jazzy feels. Really enjoyed this compared to the last few songs. Her voice fits this tempo and style so much more. Yeah, I feel like, again, this is her bread and butter. It's 2000s R&B type of thing.
Now we make the dark descent.
Next, we have You Are Precious Because of Who You Are. Quite a mouthful of a title. I don't know. I feel like the title is more interesting than the actual song. I'm sorry, but I mean, like, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like they could have done something more interesting with her vocals here. It's just super run of the mill. That's all I have to say.
Yep. All right. So for me, I also didn't have too much to say. I thought the super high like synth piano that they started the song out with was pretty nice. Yeah, like overall this is a nice like uplifting song, but the thing that I don't like, it sounds like something I've heard before and I can't really put my finger on it.
Yeah, it sounds too
like
derivative.
it sounds exactly like something I've heard on like the radio or something. So I don't know.
Oh, I know. I know what it reminds me of. It reminds me of "Skyscraper" by Demi Lovato.
Oh, that maybe that is a song I'm thinking
if you've
of.
heard that,
I don't know.
Like a skyscraper, like almost the same key and everything.
Yeah, maybe.
So, what did Nate think of this?
All right, so for Nate, he says synth intro is fantastic, so he agreed with me there. Then we get ballady Ailee vocals, nice mix of guitar and synth for the instrumentals. I really like the synth line. It gives it that inspiring vibe. Mixes really well with the anthemic, stealing Cooper's word, nature of the song. Love the string swell for the outro too.
Yep, Cooper's definitely in agreement with Nate. He says solid power ballad with a good drum line. So he definitely enjoys those anthem type feels.
Yep.
Next, we have Fire, not a cover of the 21 song or the
Yes.
BTS song.
Or the Taeyeon song.
This actually might be the worst song in the album, in all honesty. It's like the most stereotypical freaking Moombahton house song. Like, I mean, Room Shaker is very generic, it hurts, but Fire is so generic that like it like hurts to listen to. Like I really don't want to listen to it at all. Because I mean at this point, like, you know, my feelings on just Moombahton and Tropical House just being like so played out, and yeah, it just kind of feels like this is another attempt to sort of be on trend, but nope.
Yeah,
just don't.
for me, just like You're Precious Because of Who You Are, I feel like the song feels really familiar, but I feel like the reason for that is because both songs sound a lot like what's been playing on like mainstream radio the past few years, and to me it kind of sounds generic because of that. Like I don't know, like Room Shaker, which is like kind of too derivative of what's popular in Korean music right now. I think this is way too derivative of what's been going on in American music like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So
it's super dated.
I think that's the main thing I don't like. The problem for that might just be she might have just been sitting on this song since 2016.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
She's been gone.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of, is that the reason a lot of these songs might feel dated is because she's been waiting for like eons to release it. Because I mean, it's not like she completely fell off the map. She had like solo singles that released, and she did OSTs. It's just, this album might have been like in the oven for a good few years, considering it's been like 3 years since her last release.
So again, overall, I think it's good, but it didn't really blow me away at all. So Yeah. All right. Let's see what Nate had to say. Nate said, I think this is a more upbeat dance track that still sticks to Ailee's style and should have been the title track. Hard disagree there, Nate. But
I'm glad he's not on here because we would clown him so much.
Yeah, he would have been like, what? Yeah, he says it's still Ailee and not just a reject YG song, but it's got that more mainstream radio appeal. Really like the chiptune synths they use occasionally.
Cooper, on the other hand, says, this is a no from me. The la la la's are so annoying, and the whole thing just feels tacked on, especially with it being towards the end of the album. It adds nothing to the overall product and ruins the cohesion. Yeah, I agree on that. It's something that just comes way too out of left field for me compared to what the rest of the album was going for. So, yeah, just basically, if you delete Fire and Room Shaker off of this album, it improves by like a whole 1 or 2 points. Yeah. Next we have Ain't That Pretty. So I feel like, again, every album there's a situation where Ain't That Pretty makes Fire just completely redundant. Like if you're going to go for like a type of EDM vibe, like go with this. Like it's not that ambitious. I mean, it's just like a very standard like EDM like future bassy type song, but at least they do something interesting with like there's like vocal chopping. I like the vocal melody a lot better than this. So yeah, seriously, like Fire does not need to exist. Like Ain't That Pretty just covered it essentially.
So for me, I thought the drop in the chorus using the vocal samples was pretty cool. Other than that, I didn't have a ton to comment on, but I do agree in that I think it's a lot better than Fire, but I think it still suffers from the same problem that it kind of sounds like, again, like the certain trends that we already saw in American music a couple of years ago. Like, it's not building upon it or anything or giving it.
It's nothing new.
A K-pop flair or whatever you want to call it, you know. So, it's a good song, definitely better than Fire for me, but it's still not one that I think I would return to that often.
Yeah, or at all.
So, for Nate, he says, now we get a guitar focused song and it's great like usual. And all caps again. Then it drops and holy shit, it's amazing. All right, so I guess Nate likes these.
Yeah, I do like the vocal
we
dropping. So who drop?
It could be also the reason Nate's not like, it doesn't feel like these are so stale is because he doesn't listen to the radio that much.
Nate doesn't know what American music is. So
yeah, so that could be the reason.
So yeah, it's like he's like a baby with this. It's like everything is new to him.
So says got that retro 80s style synth drop, glitch vocals. This is easily one of the best songs on the album. Again, hard disagree. The dichotomy of the chill verses with the guitar and the more energetic drop with the synths is fantastic. Definitely my favorite song on the album. Nope.
Cooper says, I shouldn't like this, but I really dig the drop with the hook and the glitched vocals. So yeah, definitely enjoys it a lot as well.
Yeah.
And closing out this long, full album, we have Heart Crusher, which features, I believe, our DJs named Undaunted and DJ Koo. So never heard of them necessarily, but I mean, definitely understand why there's DJ features on here, because the entire song's in English, and it very much is like a deep house type track.
Yeah,
I'd say the drop here just throws Ain't That Pretty's drop like completely out of the water.
And for real, this throws the last 3 songs out of it, like in the trash. Like,
yeah, just like Ailee over like a deep house song like this is just as incredible as it sounds on paper. Maybe kind of cringe with like some of the English lyrics, like quote, "Damn you so sexy, but you're not the one." Add that to like the add that to the list for TDAs. I can overlook it though with how good the rest of the song is, but hearing this just kind of makes me wish that this was the song she debuted with in the US. Because remember when
the Alien song?
Yeah,
that would have been amazing.
Yeah, so she, for those that don't
and with
remember,
a different name, not Alien.
Yeah, for those that don't remember, and for good reason, she made her official English debut or US debut under the name Alien, spelled AILEEAN. Because Ailee, Alien, I don't know why she didn't just use Ailee.
Ailee.
Yeah, like,
I know
what
there's already an
marketing
Amy
person?
Lee, but just use Ailee. Yeah.
One marketing person said, "No, Ailee is not going to work." Like, Why?
Yeah.
But just imagine.
And who thought Alien was better than
Yeah,
Ailee?
who thought Alien is better than Ailee? Like, what? That person should have been fired. Anyway, like, imagine if she released a song like this onto U.S. radio. If it feels
Oh yeah,
so
this could blow up on pop radio.
It feels
Hits
so
1 on
at
XM
home.
and all the pop stations locally. Definitely.
I can imagine like song like this getting played at like Ultra Music Festival or Electric Daisy Car. Like, it fits so at home with how like sort of dance music is in the United States, and I feel it's kind of it's a shame that no one outside of Korea is really gonna listen to this, because I feel like given the chance, this would blow up immediately. Because you don't really get like usually whenever you get like features on EDM songs, they're not usually like incredible singers. And here you have arguably one of the best singers.
You do have an incredible singer.
Yeah, you have one of the best singers in all of Korea doing in like an EDM type feature, almost.
Yeah.
And she just blows it out of the park here. I'd love to see more of this.
Yeah, so what I said was, after the last 3 songs being kind of boring for me, I found this song to be way more fun. Like, the instrumental blew me away as soon as it started to populate the track in the first drop. It's got kind of like a electric aquatic feeling to it, which I really like. The drop during the chorus made for a really high impact and super fun. Again, like what you're saying with, you could see it being at like Ultra Music Festival or something. Like, I think this would be super, really fun live.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to see this live. And another thing, I thought it was funny how the song that's in English sounded way better than the Korean tracks that were kind of like trying to sound American.
Yeah, the one song that sounds American, or that's in all English, sounds good, but all of the ones that want to sound American don't sound as good.
Yeah. This is probably my favorite song on the album.
Oh,
I think.
yeah.
I really liked it.
It was such a surprise just how much I ended up enjoying this.
Yeah, I hope she releases this as a single and tries to promote a little bit in the US. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, like, I don't know, just Ailee on Twitter? We should somebody like at Ailee on Twitter, maybe us, will be like, yo, seriously, get somebody to release this in America. It will blow up on the dance charts. It's like,
I think
it's
if
perfect.
she could go on like with more and more K-pop acts going on like MTV and like stuff like that, I think she could get she's just got to get in contact with the right agent, I think, and if she can get the good appearances and stuff, I think this could catch on. You just got to get people to play it on the radio, though. That's the key.
Yeah. So okay, all right, everyone, write into Hot 97 and or I don't know, PLJ or something. Like, get everyone to start playing this song. I don't know. What did Nate think of it? Because he usually likes the EDM Nate, bangers.
He says in all caps again, house. Also entirely in English, which is why I felt it had a bit of an American pop feeling. But you didn't feel that from the last 3? Okay. It's also the most dance-focused song, which makes sense because DJ Koo is featured on it. Really enjoyed the song a lot. It's typical EDM, but it's good. That's so weird. He didn't like this one as much, but he liked the last 3 a lot.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, that boggles my mind. All right.
Cooper says, this sounds like something Cheryl Cole or Robin would release in 2013, and I love it. Perfect closer. So definitely, I think I don't know them specifically for music, but I think one of them or the other featured on a nice, on some deep house song that I liked. I forget the name of it, but yeah, definitely like a perfect way to close it. This whole album was such a roller coaster that I'm glad it ended on a high. Just like it, like
it was like they dragged my face through a bunch of rocks before giving me a diamond at the end.
Basically, no, it's just like he dragging your face through like a bunch of rocks turned into a diamond towards the end. So all the pain in the end was kind of worth it. But anyway, getting on to scores again. We are giving maximum of 7 points for music and a maximum of 3 points for the concept, visuals, that sort of thing. So, this pains me so much. I'm giving the single a 0.5.
Oh boy.
I think that might be the lowest I've ever given with this new system, because like I could go the rest of my life without hearing Room Shaker again. Like, I could honestly go, like, I will do my best to avoid ever listening to this song ever again. I'm sorry, but it's that bad, or it's that annoying or abhorrent to me. I mean, the song itself is pretty like generic, and I mean that's not why I'm mad. What makes me mad is that I feel like it's such a waste of Ailee's talent because we know what to expect. I feel like a lot of her fans know what to expect, and I feel like she's too good to like sort of fall victim to trend chasing in that sort of way. I don't know whose decision it was again, but
again, it doesn't really do anything for her career. It doesn't. This song, it doesn't
do the like the actual talent she has any justice. So yeah, that's why I'm probably harsh on this song. 2.5 out of 3.5 for album tracks. Again, just basically everything else was like a saving grace. And a 1.5 out of 3 for the concept, and that's probably me being generous just because I felt like the outfits are nice. So there's a total of 4.5 out of 10, which I feel bad because I love a lot of the songs on here. It's just Room Shaker just, again, I feel like brought this whole album down for me just like a good 1 or 2 points on its own.
Yeah. All right, so for me, I gave the music a 5 out of 7 just because I felt like 6 of the songs I liked a lot, and then the other 4 I really just did not like at all. You want to launch
into the sun?
Yeah, like I could like tracks 7 through 9. So You're Precious Because of Who You Are, Fire and Ain't Pretty. I could literally like just remove them from the album, and it would, and obviously also Room Shaker, and this would be a really great album in my opinion. Like it'd get at least an 8.5, I think.
Yeah.
For me, like it's just unfortunate, I guess. I think the problem with the trio there towards the end that I didn't like was just because she probably was just sitting on those songs for too long, and
they missed their moment.
us here in the States, at least, we've been like these trends in music have been like hammered into our heads like for too long already that it doesn't really impress me, I guess, is the problem. So like they're not terrible songs, it's just like I probably won't listen to them at all.
At all.
So
that's a
so music I gave 5 out of 7. So overall I think the album's still good. It's just I'll just remove the those tracks or skip them or whatever so I can get to Heart Crusher, which is the banger we all deserve.
Yes, after enduring the rest of it.
For concept, I gave it 2 out of 3 because again, I thought the aesthetic for the MV was good at least. Despite again, like Room Shaker really wasn't what I was looking for. I thought the MV was fine. I think it deserves 2 out of 3. So yeah, overall I gave it a 7 out of 10. So 10. I think it's a good album. It's just mostly because it's plagued by just some basically like. Think of this album as trying to swim. It's got a bunch of weights like attached to its feet.
Yeah, basically like a lot of unnecessary weight attached to it. What was Nate's score?
All right, so Nate, he says his overall thoughts. This album is hard to rate. Without Room Shaker, it'd probably be a 9 or a 10 for him. Okay, cool. But Room Shaker is an utter mess. It also doesn't fit at all on the album, so I don't know what anyone was thinking with it as the single. But the rest of the album is more Ailee, which I've been waiting for a long time and delivers. Concept is an utter mess because it's all based around Room Shaker. I think I'm going to be generous on music because concept is going to ruin the score anyway. So he gave music a 6 and the concept a 1. So he also gave it a 7.
7 out of 10 as well. So again, Cooper didn't give a closing statement, but he gave this a 5.5 out of 10.
So he gave it better than I did.
Yeah, so he gave a 4.5 for music, a 1 for concept. I'm surprised I gave a better concept score to this than Cooper did, so I guess I was feeling a bit generous. So doing the math, that is a 6 average. That's a lot higher than I was expecting originally, but I mean, I guess that's just being very generous. So what are you guys' thoughts on Ailee's triumphant return, or not so triumphant? Do you like Room Shaker? Are we completely off base with it? Do you like any of the other songs like Midnight or Headlock or Heart Crusher? Let us know what your favorites are and what your thoughts are in the comments below.
Yep.
Still don't know why they just randomly did Highlight and then it was separate from the rest of their set.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was Everglow influence, like them having more time because it was separate from the rest of their songs, which none of the artists did. The only time they had separate